Expecting that to go unnoticed is what's really unbelievable. We don't want to get the police involved. We'll blow up this island and destroy all the evidence. If it's tough parting with the gold, feel free to grab as much as you can hold. The billion yen on the cash card is more than enough. So you decided that you're going to... But again, how do we explain why all of us weren't exploded? I mean, it worked out in the one timeline where Ava was the sole survivor. Also, what are all the servants going to do in this situation? But I mean, at this point, you are trying to work with Ava in this situation. And she would need partners. So, I mean, again, this is a very pragmatic solution. Though I feel that it's not ethical anymore. I feel like Rose's solution was at least ethical. This is less ethical. Somewhere on that sliding scale, anyway. In other words, Ava Nason was right. I'm glad. You know, you at least seem a little bit perturbed by certain things. Then again, you know, you were pointing a gun at Rosa as well, with the intention of shooting. It looks like we're on the same page. If the police get involved, who knows what might happen. It's the same with cashing in the gold. I'm sure that would have tripped us up somewhere, so we had no choice. The 1 billion that the woman over there exchanged for this for cash is the only money we'll be able to get our hands on. Okay, here's a question. She was able to exchange that stuff, so obviously she has the resources to contact someone to slowly exchange this gold for cash. So it is doable to exchange the rest at some point. And even splitting that billion will be more than enough for what we need. At least you're not being that greedy, right? Then again, this whole shooting thing was that the fact that you had this billion plus, you know, all the money you would have split if you hadn't, you know, killed people. On top of that, now that Rosa is dead, our shares have increased even more. We can each leave this isle 500 million. Exactly. As long as we don't let our greedy desire to cash in the gold control us. We can pretend that everything that occurred on this island never happened. We have a way to do that right here. By this point, neither deaths from accidental discharges nor shooting murders meant anything on this island. Everything would be erased equally by the explosion accident. No matter what happened between now and midnight the next day, everything would be rewritten. And you told me to turn myself in. Stupid Rosa. She's dead, and she's your sister. You should feel sad. Also, why does the clock not only explode at midnight? Why not noon? How does the clock know the difference between noon and midnight? Maybe I'm not versed enough in grandfather clocks. You weren't satisfied with just 300 million? This is what you get for being too greedy. You brought this upon yourself. But Kairi-san, there was no need to shoot her, right? Even Rosa-san would have figured it out if you just told her. I did need to shoot her. After all, Rosa-san's the only one who didn't fire her gun. What does that matter? The guns lying at your feet are Kraus-Nissan's and Ava-Nissan's. Both of those have been fired. However, Rosa-san's gun can shoot if you just pull the trigger. It's hard to reload one of these if you aren't used to a lever action. An amateur would have some trouble pulling it off. Kairi-san, what are you talking about? You! They finally realized what Kairi meant. You seem way too comfortable with this, Kairi. Rosa had the only gun that could still fire. So I shot her first. Oh, how foolish we were. Why didn't we realize sooner? Even though we knew there was a mechanism for erasing everything that happens on this island, Ava and Hideyoshi hurried to pick up the guns that lay at their feet. You know, it's going to take too long to do anything with the guns. Also, they don't have to shoot you. Like, you'd have better luck. But if you know that you could just put your hands up like, hey, don't shoot us, we'll work together. Like, no. But, you know, I mean, if Kairi's going to shoot you no matter what, you'd have better luck tackling her. At the same time, fire spat from Kairi's gun once more. I can't imagine Angie feels very happy about this. I mean, it's her mom. Like, I'd imagine either seeing her mother get murdered or being the murderer are both very sad, emotional things. Hideyoshi let out a short scream, clutched at his chest, and fell over face down. Dear! Dear! Why is this? Ava fiddled with the lever action, trying to imitate something she vaguely remembered from a Western movie, but something seemed to be caught, and the still open lever didn't budge. See? You are way too composed about this. This is definitely not the first time you've killed people, huh? It's pretty hard. Yet you... Kairi finished reloading with a fluid motion. The way she held it was as innocent and sure as a kid playing with a squirt gun. And now George is an orphan. With another heartless cry of gunfire, the puppet called Ava slumped down to the floor as though its strings had been cut. Rudolph-san. The billion-yen card? Sure. The cash card of 1,000,000,000 yen, which Ava had just grabbed from the witch. That alone was worth more than enough. The 20 billion yen pile of gold had skewed everyone's sense of value. Just a few million yen is enough for people to kill over. And keep in mind, this is 1986, so that's going to be a lot more valuable nowadays with, you know, all the inflation that has occurred over each and every year between now and 1986. It's been like 40 years. This was 1,000,000,000 yen. Rosa-san, those are some famous last words there. I don't even remember what her last words were. Just 300 million? You were too greedy. No kidding. Ah, lucky me. I don't have to fish through her corpse. As Rudolph walked up to Ava's body, he found the card laying beside it and picked it up. So, this flimsy little card is worth 1,000,000,000 yen. Sticking with the company would be a waste of time. So, do we close up shop and spend the rest of our lives in some southern country? 1,000,000,000 yen. What would that even convert to in American dollars? Like, I'm pretty sure it would be like 100 million? But of course, there's inflation for 1986. I'm going to go on Google because I don't know. So first off, Google. Let's see. It says 1 billion Japanese yen converts to 6.24 million. I would have thought it would have been 100 million, or at least 10 million. Then again, here's a question. Does the conversion rate change from like 1986 to now? Like, we're not even talking inflation now. We're talking like the value of the Japanese yen to the American dollar versus the value of the Japanese yen back then compared to what the American dollar was back then. So we're not even talking inflation. We're talking about the comparative exchange rates of how, because exchange rates change over time. But it's not that important. I don't even know how to. Okay, so it's about 4 times. So roughly between 24 to 30 million dollars is what this would convert to by modern standards. I'm pretty sure $1 million would be enough for me to just not have to work in a factory for the rest of time. It's like, well, what if you live for 1 million years? Well, I'm pretty sure if we would live that long, there's other concerns. But I'm just saying, even if I were to like live to 80, pretty sure 1 million's comfortable. It's more money than I think I'll ever see in my entire lifetime. Even if you were to combine every salary I've ever earned my entire life and ever will earn, it'll probably be much less than 1 million. I'm sure you'd get bored right away. Besides, I like seeing you get all worried about some problem and leap around like a little kid when you finally overcome it. Sure you do. Thank you, Miss Golden Witch. Don't you have to reload it again? Rudolph-san and I will now make good use of this billion. Kraus-Nissan promised to treat you in a gentlemanly fashion. I make no such promises, but I haven't made any such promise. We just zoomed in on our tits. And dead. She pulled the trigger without a trace of mercy. When the ringing of the gunfire died down, blood trickled from the witch's mouth, and she fell over onto the bed. Once again, Kyrie ejected the used shell case. And again, I can't imagine Angie feels remotely happy about this. I mean, Leon obviously upset too, but it's not his parents committing the murder. The 4 metal sounds of used shells hitting the floor seemed to symbolize the fact that Rudolph and his wife now possessed all shares of the gold. All of them were really slow-witted. I mean, Beatrice wasn't, but she was kind of also just really depressed. So, from the moment they heard about the bomb, they should have known that they wouldn't be leaving this island as a big happy family. Sorry about this, Aniki, Aneke, and Rosa. Well, that's life for you. I mean, he at least said sorry. Give me a break, okay? Aniki and Aneke will get into a fight, Rosa gets dragged in, and I'm the one who picks up the pieces. Just like it's always been, right? And It wasn't as though Rudolph and Kairi had planned to kill everyone and take everything for themselves from the start. Kairi had quickly realized by the length of the barrel of the gun in her hands that it would probably hold 5 rounds at a time. Yes, Kairi and Rudolph were both very familiar with this gun. Rudolph, whose interest in guns from old westerns came from his father, owned a shotgun of the same model. Even Kairi had earned the qualifications to use that gun, becoming familiar enough with it that they could go shooting together for fun, including the which there had been 8 people there. 6 people besides the 2 of them. Each gun held 5 rounds. That was 1 short. They didn't have enough to kill everyone. To be honest, it really surprised me when they got into a fight and one of the guns went off. The coincidental attack had provided the missing bullet. It wasn't the second shot. The very first shot, which had accidentally killed Natsui, had guaranteed that this massacre would happen. In the smoke, the corpse-filled room of gold, the 2 of them wore easygoing smiles, hardly any different from those they usually wore. What do we do now? Rudolph picked up Rose's gun. Then he fired a test shot at the wall and ejected the old shell with a smooth motion like Kairi's. Kairi went to the box of bullets on the table, casually picked up a few, and loaded them one after another into her gun. What you doing? Going after the servants? Technically, you already killed most of them, because Beatrice was also Shannon and Canon. All that's left is Genji, Nanjo, Goda, and Kumasawa. Most of these people are old as fuck, and everyone's probably sleeping. It's probably like 1 o'clock at night. Everyone should be asleep. I imagine at some point he tells Kairi about the truth of things, and then when Kairi's emotionally upset, he uses the advantage to shoot her. The people in this story are not very nice people.